Hello everyone, my name is Ankit and I'm going to tell you about how we can capture a patient registration into vCAN. So when you log in into vCAN, which ID and password have been already shared with you, if you have a login ID and password, you can enter and log into the system. You just have to go to create new and click on contact, or the second way is to click on contact tab and then click on new option, which is here. This will take you to this screen, which has three drop downs: CK donor and patient. You will be entering the patient form for registering a new patient, but let me tell you about what CK is. CK this option means this is for the recording of all the Cankids employees who are responsible for assisting patient in any way, or which need to be entered into the system for some reasons. I'll come to why you would require to record Cankids employee into this form into the vCAN. And the second is the donor. When you want to register a new donor or organization who has donated some kind of some funds or something to Cankids. Alright, so let's come to patient and click on continue. When you do this, you will come to this page, which is actually a PIS form or new contact form. You can enter the name of the patient. If there is a middle name, if not, you can leave it blank. Last name is mandatory. You can leave the account name blank. You enter the phone number. The first phone number is mandatory. Then you should always encourage to take two phone numbers, so I'll enter another phone number. Alright, if so identification, so we from this 20th June onwards, we are encouraging all the social workers to take some kind of identification from the parents. So you can take either the identification of the patient or the father or the mother. So three options are given. If you have a identification of patient, you should select self. So Aadhaar card is the first preference. If a patient or the child doesn't have the Aadhaar card, you can take the Aadhaar card of father or the mother. And then if you don't have Aadhaar card of any of these three, you can ask for other type of identifications. Okay, and then you can type the Aadhaar card number or the identification number in this field. Then you'll enter the father's name of the patient, mother's name, then the birth date. So for birth date, you'll see options till 2016 or so. So what you can do is you can either select you will select the month, you will select the date, and you can type the year from your laptop keyboard. Alright, and if you don't know the exact date of birth, what you can do is you will calculate the year the patient was born in by asking the age of the patient, and then you can remove, or uh, you will select 1st January of that year. So that is also acceptable, so that we can have a tentative age of the patient. Then of course the gender. So Jana CK rep means person who is filling the form, who has interviewed or asked questions or interacted with the family. Then If the if that's you, then you will enter your name. And so this is the PSG member associated with the family. If you don't have a PSG member, you will have to select your name, or so that's why in this field I ask you to fill a new contact for CK rep. So all the people who are Cankids employees will be can be searched from this field, right? And you can click and select, or you can look here. You can search for a PhD member from this lookup search table. So this is a very powerful tool. If you don't uh, select the right alphabets or right uh, letters for your search, you won't be able to find the exact name you are searching for. Okay, so if you type a different name or some spelling mistakes, you won't be able to find it. So you have to be careful to use only the correct names in this. Okay, all right. And then these form are this other fields are very similar to the PIS form which you were already filling. And then number of family members, number of siblings. So these fields which are not red, so you can see some fields are marked red on the left side. These all fields are made mandatory, and you can take verbal consent from the patient when you are filling online PIS form of the patient online. You can take the verbal consent and click on here. You'll select the father's detail, what kind of profession he is, mother's details, what kind of documents you have already received from the patient and which you have not. So mailing street, the district, mailing city is the district. In my case it's Delhi. In the state is also the same, but you can select. I have already shared a list of all the states and the districts uh, in the master Excel sheet which I've already sent. And then you can also find that link in the YouTube link below, and the postal code. So this is what we are also trying to make capture for every patient. Just make sure you take zip or postal code from every patient. If not, you can just leave it blank. Second address or alternative address you can also take. Yeah, if you want to write something about the family or the patient history, where he had been, what kind of treatment he has already taken, or uh, what circumstances the patient is already in, and then who referred the patient to Cankids, and you can click on save. So when you fill this form, the age will be calculated by the software, and you will have these kinds of link in the bottom of the form. Okay, so for the second form, which is actually hospital details or the patient registration, in which the CKID will be generated, you will have to click on new patient register, which is actually medical support form. All right. So this field I am going to delete. So you will have to select the hospital from here. All right. You will, when you click on the magnifying glass, you can search for your hospital. Otherwise, I have already shared the name of the hospitals in the same Excel sheet I've mentioned earlier, and you can click and select your hospital or your hospital acronym, and that will be filled. If you want to write, it will not accept any other kind of spellings or other kinds of hospital names, so you will have to search for from your hospital from the given Excel sheet reference only. So this is very specific. Your hospital number, it can be combination of letters or numbers. PAS form, if you have a secondary hospital number, you can use this field. Like for ISCH, I know there is a second hospital number other than UHID, so you can use this field to enter this. And if you use any specific PIS numbers in your region or in your hospital, you can use that as well. So this is the enrollment date. So this most probably should be the date of registering or entering into the system. Otherwise, you can also choose a previous date if you want to. Okay, so most preferable way is to go to the calendar and select. These are the diagnosis date, treatment start date, and the other fields: surgery done or not done, if metastasized. So you will see a few changes in coming days, which I am planning to change the name of few fields, because some social workers has complained that these are kind of confusing. So I'll be considering that, and I'll be making few changes. All right. So this is red field, so that's mandatory. So in most cases, you will be entering first line treatment or relapse treatment, or some kind of other status of the treatment status of the patient. And then when the patient expired, you will select expired. So you can change or edit this status of the patient later on. You should also know all the types and subtypes of cancers. If the patient is non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, you should know that it comes under lymphoma. And if a patient is osteosarcoma, you should know that's a bone sarcoma, and you can select osteosarcoma from that drop down. And for your reference, I have already sent this this sheet, Excel sheet, which has a list of all types and subtypes of cancer. You can Control F and find any type of cancer from that sheet only. Right. So in case of leukemia, any type of leukemia you select, you will have to, so the WBC count before the treatment is mandatory. If somehow, so you should try to capture WBC count from the hospital, from the medical record of the patient. If you can't find it, and because this field is mandatory, you can, for now, you can enter 0 and save. Otherwise, it won't save. All right. This would give you an error. So hospital prefix is mandatory because this is a mandatory field for now. And then this is giving you another error because the WBC count is mandatory. You will have to enter some kind of number. You can change by double clicking on the specific field, and you can select from here only if you want to change any, or you want to edit any of the field. So you can click on save and this will be saved. So when you want to change the status of the patient, you can also do that later on. Alright, so this is complete registration of the patient. So in my next video I'm going to tell you how to give assistance or request for an assistance for this patient. Thank you.